Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is Sunday, January 8th, 2023. The date's 1/8. It's week 18 of the NFL season, something that became new in recent times. It used to be a 17-week NFL season. Back in the day, it was a 15-week NFL season, but now it's up to 18 weeks. And the first touchdown on this Sunday, 1/8, week 18, was scored by the Bills. And right after they scored the opening kickoff touchdown, the announcers blurted out that it was the first time the Bills had done that in 18 years. And of course, when you learn gematria, that becomes all the more interesting because in gematria, Bills equals 18. And before we get further into this, just how perfect this ritual was, the distance of the return, the man who did it, the tribute to Damar Hamlin. Again, I just want to send a shout out to everyone who tries and shares this knowledge and information with people, especially the people who all they get in return is ridicule. There's a great guy out there. His name's Jesse. He tried to share this information with his father about the whole Damar Hamlin thing. And his father has now denounced him as a crazy person. And of course, the same thing happened to me in 2013 when I tried to share this with my friends and family. And it's funny, the hive mind of society and how at this day and age it's controlled by the television. For most people, all that they think is reality. The only thing they know to talk about is what's being presented to them on television, whether it's a sports game or a news story. Again, the television controls the hive mind of the populace, and there's not much independent thought or critical thinking outside of what is being televised on the television screen when it comes to the hive mind masses. And I've known very much about this, especially since September 11th happened, because I found out in the days after 9/11 that just questioning the event set off the hive mind of the masses, where people instantly wanted to attack you and call you crazy and schizophrenic. And, it's funny. 60, 70 years ago, when people questioned the mainstream, people considered that those people questioning the mainstream narrative had mental illness. And nothing's changed today. It's just 70 years ago, people would get sent off to facilities, insane asylums. They'd have lobotomies, procedures done to their brain because people thought there was something wrong with them because they weren't in line with the hive mind. And again, it's a very interesting dynamic for those of us who are awake and have critical thinking and independent minds and see through the lies that are presented on the television screens every single day, from the rigged sports games to things like 9/11. And it's a difficult place to be in, to be awake and have eyes to see when 90% of the populace is part of this hive mind that seemingly cannot think outside of the television box. But again, we will continue to try. And for all of you who refuse to take the red pill, the thing that should wake you up, let's try one more time. Notice I got the Red Bull. It's actually full of avocados, not red pills. By the way, if you guys do buy avocados, just a tip, keep your avocados in a bowl of water. They'll stay green inside forever. If you buy avocados and they turn all brown on you, just start keeping them in a bowl of water. You'll be in a good spot. But anyway, back to this presentation. Look at how perfect this ritual is in week 18 on 1/8, where the Bills return the opening kick for the first time in 18 years, as the announcer blurted out. As NFL Network put up on their social media, you couldn't have scripted it. Yeah, you could have. Look at how perfect this is. Just look at it. In gematria, again, gematria. It's just funny how people lose their minds when you start telling them that the alphabet is numbers, when in reality, it's like, why is this something to lose your mind over? This is a real practice, gematria. It was written about in Manly P. Hall's The Secret Teachings of All Ages, which came out in 1926, meaning it'll turn 100 years in a few years. And it wasn't new information then. Gematria goes all the way back to Babylon. So this is a practice thousands of years old. It's very important to Jews, Jewish mysticism, Kabbalah. So again, when people start saying that, I'm surprised that the media actually hasn't started a campaign saying that denouncing gematria as anti-Semitic. The thing is, the same people who run the media, they don't want you to know about this little secret practice. But yes, this is predominantly a Jewish practice. So to say that it's insane or mental illness is essentially to call Jewish mysticism mental illness. But this is a real thing to certain people. And again, we call the Bills the 18 team. This isn't anything new. So what a ritual for 1-8 in week 18. And notice the guy who returned the kick, Nyheim Hines, born in 96, right? They said it was a 96-yard return. And of course, we've been talking about 96 in the Bills all year, ever since the Queen died at age 96 on the opening day of the season. Again, Buffalo and Cincinnati are both known as the Queen cities. We just had the ritual with Damar Hamlin, whose full name equals 96 in Gematria, right before this. But then you get the 96-yard touchdown return by the guy born in 96. And we'll talk about where he was born too, because it becomes even more mind-blowing. But notice his birthday is November 12th. And for the record, that's the day leaving 49 days left in the year. Damar Hamlin equals 49. Damar Hamlin equals 96. But anyway, from his birthday to today is 57 days later. And as we talked about, Hamlin has the Gematria 57 with the alphabetic order, like the jab does. And when you use numerology, Hamlin is 30, like the jab. And remember, Paige Thompson had the hat trick on January 3rd in tribute to Hamlin, scoring the third goal 3 minutes into overtime for his 30th goal of the season. And his name, Paige Thompson, equaled 54, like Bills, like how they won the game 5-4. But anyhow, they're also doing this tribute on the field at the 30-yard line. They've highlighted the 3 for Damar Hamlin, but it's also the 30, right? The tribute at the 30 for Hamlin on the field where they have the ritual to open the game, where the NFL says you couldn't have scripted it. And again, just reporting it as a 96-yard return. Damar Hamlin, 96. Cardiac arrest, 96. Again, Gematria, if you're new here. Alphabetic order. A is 1 up to Z is 26, is what all the ciphers are based in. Then there's the alphabetic order with numerology. And then there's just running the alphabetic order in reverse. Z is 1 back to A is 26. And the reverse alphabetic order with numerology. Remember, when you run out cardiac arrest forwards, it also equals 57. Cardiac arrest forwards is 57 like Hamlin. In reverse, it's 96 like Damar Hamlin, going with today's 96-yard return in the season that began with the Queen's death at age 96. And again, the Queen was replaced by King Charles. North Carolina is named after King Charles, the one who had the English Civil War in his time. And where is this man from? Where's Nyheim Hines from? Oh, he's from North Carolina. Again, if you have not been following all the work I put out on Damar Hamlin, there is a playlist here. And remember, the night of the supposed heart problem, Donovan Mitchell for the Cavaliers. Again, Cavaliers are those who fought for King Charles. He had the record high 71. His nickname Spider equals 71, like Royal is 71. Like the big ritual with Princess Diana back when the Queen was 71 years old and Diana was born on July 1st or 7-1. But again, 57 days after his birthday, in the Hamlin feel-good story where they got the tribute at the 30-yard line, a 96-yard return. And let's not forget that Cincinnati equals 96 either, in light of where it took place at the ritual just days earlier. Again, Nyheim Hines, born in 96. He's 26 years old right now. Queen is 26. The World Cup English team was eliminated 26 days after Charles' birthday. Remember, the Queen became the Queen on February 6th, 2-6. And then her coronation was on June 2nd, which is also written 2-6 in the UK. Queen does equal 62 and 26 if you use numerology. But this man is from North Carolina, named after King Charles, who replaced the Queen. And then the other thing is, the touchdown happened with 14 seconds into the game. I've been talking about 14 in Buffalo ever since the shooting on May 14th, with the 14 words on the gun, and how it was synced up with Kathy Hochul, the 57th governor of New York, who's from Buffalo. Again, if Buffalo were to make it to the Super Bowl and win, they would be 1-4. And another team that's 0-4 in Super Bowls like Buffalo is the Minnesota Vikings. Again, you had Diggs, number 14, go from Minnesota to Buffalo. By the way, Damar Hamlin, his high school is 96 years old right now. It's a Catholic school. And their name is the Vikings. And interestingly enough, Minnesota Vikings also has the 96 Gematria. But again, you have the quarterback from the Vikings and Diggs, who went from the Vikings to the Bills. Remember, the Vikings and the Bills game was arguably the craziest game of the year, if not the Vikings-Colts game on Saturnalia, with Jeff Saturday giving up the record lead, 33 points, beating Frank Reich's 32-point comeback, the coach he replaced earlier this year for the Colts, in the you couldn't have scripted it any better league. And Jeff Saturday on Saturnalia. But anyway, I've been talking about 14 all year with the Bills. They clinched their playoff spot December 17th, the day leaving 14 days left in the year. If you follow me on the sports decodes, it seems like almost every week this year we've been talking about a 14 ritual with the Bills. Now they score this touchdown 14 seconds into the game. And I didn't actually have the game on, so I didn't see if they ran an extra second off or paused it early. Because again, if you pay attention to these games, they do that all the time. They'll run an extra second. I've even seen them run 2 extra seconds to make sure the time ritual is right. You know, the other week, Cowboys game, T.Y. Hilton, his debut with the Cowboys, catches a 53-yard pass in week 16 wearing number 16 when 53 is the 16th prime. And then right before they're about to snap the ball, the refs move in, stop the play, and then change the hash mark to make sure that the 53-yard reception was just right. So you saw how they adjusted the place on the field to make sure that the 53 hit. That week, Najee Harris had 16 rushes for 53 yards. Every year, year after year, in week 16, 53, the 16th prime. Again, it's all about numbers. Again, American football is credited to Freemasonry, etched on the temple. All is number, the Pythagoras quote. Pythagoras was supposedly into this study of gematria. Again, the alphabets that were originally based on letters and numbers, Hebrew and Greek. So if you want to get caught up on everything that I've been talking about this week, including Damar Hamlin's tweet at 5:14 p.m. yesterday, while the Bills are on 514 franchise losses after the 5:14 shooting at the Tops. Again, the playlist is here on Gematria Effect News 25. But we did just get our first call, and I wasn't going to take calls yet, but I'm pretty much done presenting. So what's up, 954?
Hey, it's Slick Nick here. I just got something interesting to bring for you. So, I don't know, some of the ads that Bills kickoff return, it was actually 14 seconds into the game, exactly. So
that's what I was just talking about, right? 14 seconds into the game, right?
And also, did you see what happened with the Tom Brady thing in the first drive?
I haven't seen any action from any of the games. I did just turn on the Bills-Patriots game, but outside that, I haven't seen anything.
So on the very first drive for the Bucs, Tom Brady threw for 38 yards, and he threw to number 8 for the touchdown.
Yeah.
And the touchdown was for 8 yards also.
An 8-yard pass to number 8. And then I've seen in the Bills game, I did see that number 16 scored for the Patriots for the first touchdown on the 16-date numerology. And then Dawson Knox, who lost his brother by the numbers earlier this year, he's number 88, right, on the 8th.
Yeah.
Number 88. So I didn't see who scored the Patriots' second touchdown.
And the guy who scored the touchdown, Kyle Rudolph, his name equals 57. And they just recently had for the field goal in the second quarter to tie it up, the Bucs 10-10. It was 4th and 1 on Atlanta's 14, and they got a flag, right? And they pushed it 10 yards back or whatever to make it a 41-yard field goal. And of course, they made that to tie it up to 10-10. And in numerology, it's 11, so 8 plus 3 is 11. So I just wanted to say that real quick.
All right, great observations. Appreciate it, Slick Nick.
Thank you. Take it easy, Zach.
All right, yeah, take care, man. Okay, so if anybody does want to call in, there is a phone number to call in. It's 509-560-4982. Again, 509-560-4982. There is also another way to connect to the stream, and I am going to add that in the live chat right now. All you have to do there is just click on the link once I get it in there, and it is going in right now. So it should be showing up on your screen any moment. If you click that link, it'll bring you in here. And again, what I'm always hoping to get on are the people who leave like the most like opposed comments. Like, this is so dumb. Like, are you serious? I never get those people to come on the live chat, but they always have plenty of comments to leave. I really want somebody to come on here and lay out the case for how these games aren't scripted. I mean, like where? NFL tweets, the Buffalo Bills return the opening kick. You couldn't write this script. Really? And again, just week after week, what do you think these announcers are talking about when they say you couldn't have scripted it any better? What do you think's going on when, again, 9/11 happens, they pass the Patriot Act, and then the New England Patriots become the greatest NFL team ever for the first time in the history of football? They'd always been a trash franchise before that. What do you think the odds are of, again, 911 being made the emergency dialing code in 68, World Trade Center construction beginning in 68, 2001 A Space Odyssey coming out in 68, and 1968 being the only year the New York Jets had a Super Bowl winning season, the year of Broadway Joe, who guaranteed he'd win Super Bowl III, only for 3 planes to hit the targets in 2001. Like, what do you think this is if news and sports aren't scripted together? And take a minute, even if you're in the hive mind, to think about how sports and news are controlling everyone's thoughts, actions, behavior, dialogue, the things that are on their mind. Again, mind control. When I was growing up in the 80s, 90s, they would teach us about how had we grown up in Russia, they'd always be trying to mind control us. That's what Russia does to their people. They keep their people under mind control. Why wouldn't the American government have the same interest? And how does it look any different? And they have Russia and America not partnered like in every major world storyline, from world wars to the space race to the Cold War to what's going on now with Ukraine. That's set the stage for energy prices and all the narratives that have been taking place for the last year. James Bond films, The Hunt for Red October. Remember what happened with Alec Baldwin last year in October? A big star in Hunt for Red October. He shoots the Ukrainian woman right before Russia-Ukraine in a big ritual. Somebody in the chat is trying to argue through the chat. For the person arguing in the chat, hey, come on, it'll be easier for you to argue. But I can halfway say that their argument's halfway right. One of the criticisms in the chat is, are you not participating in the rituals since you bet on the sports games? Yeah, I would say that if you wanted to call me out for anything, that would be the thing that would be a fair criticism. But again, we do live in this world where money is a real thing. And if you don't have money, you find yourself out on the street. And maybe that ultimately would be the thing that every truth seeker should do. Stop participating in the system all the way and just become homeless. But then even if you're homeless, right, you got to eat. And you're still going to be relying on the system, whether that's begging on the corner or eating out of garbage cans. So, I mean, that is an argument. But my mentality is, from where I stand now, I'm in a better position to reach people and wake them up to what's going on, as I've been attempting to do for a decade online, but really for longer than that. I've been trying to wake people up since 9/11 happened. I've been going out to public events and speaking out and talking to people in pretty much every place I could speak out, from the classroom to everywhere. So, again, trying to wake people up from whatever this thing is we're living in, this matrix, this spell. I mean, it is a major challenge, but yeah, just the people that are so in line with all the narratives and who believe with all their heart in stories like Damar Hamlin and totally invested in sports leagues and the politics and the news. I mean, I just get annoyed that those people will always leave these long comments, but will never come on, despite how often I come on here and present an opportunity for people to come on and have a discussion or even a debate. Okay. Well, so far nobody's come in and nobody's calling. But again, just to review all the Damar Hamlin stuff, we'll do that in this stream. Again, supposedly Damar Hamlin tweets for the first time yesterday at 5:14 p.m. local. Again, the Bills are on 514 franchise losses at the time of this incident. And again, we've been talking about where this number fits in all year with Buffalo because of the 5-14 shooting. And a lot of people left comments like, you think that's more than a coincidence? Wow. It's like, yeah, I definitely think it's more than a coincidence, especially when the top shooting happened 117 days before the season opener. This ritual with Damar Hamlin happened on the 117th day of the season, and Damar Hamlin changed his jersey number to 3 on September 5th, the day leaving 117 days left in the year. Again, 17 weeks before the week 17 ritual, when the date September 5th can be written 5/9 like 59, the 17th prime number. And again, Freemasonry is 59, Mason 17. Freemasonry has the ritual. Again, you get your rights in Freemasonry, R-I-T-E-S, not R-I-G-H-T-S, rights, which involve rituals. You perform rituals in Masonry to get your rights, but to get your third degree, you do the kneeling ritual in tribute to Hiram Abiff. And remember, everybody was kneeled around number 3, Damar Hamlin, except for number 33, Neil. He was the only guy who didn't kneel, the guy with the last name Neil. But also the score was 7-3, and Hiram Abiff equals 73, and the name of the trainer, Denny Kensington, equals 73, and the name Denny alone is 73, and Mason is 73. And by the way, just the connection with Buffalo and Minnesota, George Floyd had the guy kneel on his neck, and the name Floyd is 73. Again, here, let's make sure we got all that understood. Minnesota and Buffalo have had the 2 biggest racism rituals in news. They've also had the craziest game against each other this year. But Floyd is 73. Mason is 73. Denny Kensington, the hero, 73. Just like Hiram Abiff, you do the kneeling ritual in tribute to Hiram Abiff, who died protecting the Masonic secrets when the 3 ruffians killed him. What's up, 780?
Hey, Zach, it's Plain Decoded.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, so I did a follow-up vid, and if anyone has time, they can check it out. I kind of interpreted as a newer astrologer the meaning behind that conjunction that I was pointing out in my video where I got the 855 down. What had happened is that the sun conjunct the part of fortune in the 5th house, and the 5th house is representative of the heart, and the sun rules the heart. And so, assuming that it's a ritual, right? They timed it to be a fortunate event based on the heart, and then also sun equals bills, so it makes sense that they use the sun as well. I assigned the house to the bills in the first place, but that's my interpretation of it. And so, if anyone wants to check that out, I'm like the only one that I know of that's doing this. So when I do gematria decodes, I'm stretching a bit, but that's just because I'm playing around. But I've prefaced that in there that are kind of stretching things, but because I know how you like to keep things simple. But as I'm doing something different, I'm trying different things. But the astrological aspect makes sense to me, especially if you use Placidius houses and then or switch it to whole sign houses, because then if it's a real event, then it makes the house it was in the unfortunate house. So there's 2 houses. The 5th is good fortune, and the 6th is bad fortune. So it's a video I have if anyone wants to check it out. And also I did a prediction for the Jaguars game last night, and I had the spread, and that's all based on astrology as well. So I had the spread for the Titans, and that went through too. And then I timed out some scoring plays. Like I got some right down to the minute, and then some to 2 minutes off. So I just wanted to I want to eventually be able to figure out the astrological component like Rambo. So I would like Rambo to see my channel and see what he thinks. But I don't know him, so I just wanted to chime in and let you know that maybe you found some value in it.
Okay, well, yeah. Again, astrology. I'm not nearly as good at astrology as I am gematria, but you're definitely making some waves with it. So keep it up and keep calling and filling us in, and I'll keep trying to pick it up bit by bit. But it's something I have a lot more to learn about. So great work.
Okay, thanks for your time.
Yeah. All right. Take care. All right. No caller ID. No caller ID. Okay. Same guy who calls all the time and doesn't say anything. Yeah, that's the troll who likes to do that. Just call all day on no caller ID and say nothing. Again, for people who don't understand how scripted it is, let me write out Tennessee Titans right here. You see the 189 in the most simple cipher? Look, no caller ID is going to try to clog up the line. Here's the trolls. But you see how Tennessee Titans is 189 in the most simple cipher? The Jaguars yesterday picked up their 189th win in the regular season, and now they're in the playoffs for 23. Jaguars is 23. Also 77. The player who just dropped dead at age 38 for the Jaguars wore the number 77. The Jaguars also became 7-7 in January yesterday by beating the Titans. And again, that is the value of this knowledge. And again, when you have that astrology piece, I wasn't confident on what the spread was going to be in yesterday's game. I didn't see a strong clue there, but he said with the astrology, he saw the Titans to cover the spread, which was right. But we did feel that the Jaguars were more than likely going to be the team in that game. But again, you learn this knowledge and you'll see how week after week things like this line up. Jaguars got their 189th win in the regular season by beating the Titans to make it to the playoffs. And here, let me just pull up Football Reference. Let's see if they've updated from yesterday. If they have, it should be right there. There it is. Jaguars got the 189th win over the Tennessee Titans division rival. They couldn't have scripted it any better. And notice they're 7-7 in the playoffs going into the game. Funny. Oh, man. So, all right, let's see. Has anybody tried to enter the chat? We haven't had anybody try to enter the chat. But what else is new? We do have no caller ID calling over and over. Okay, no caller IDs. No caller IDs pretty much got the phone on lockdown. And the problem is if I shift it into that mode where it doesn't accept calls from no caller ID, it also blocks the app that I use for taking calls. So anyway, we can keep this one, or hold on. I did say I was going to go over some of the Damar Hamlin stuff. And just so you can see also here, it was funny, for whatever reason yesterday, Football Reference took a loss away from the Bills, but they added it back. Notice the Bills are on 495 regular season losses and 19 in the playoffs. That's a total of 514 losses to go with the 514 shooting. And yeah, let's just go through some of the other Damar Hamlin posts real quick. Again, Damar Hamlin changed his jersey number from 31 to 3, fitting him with the Masonic Hiram-Abiff ritual, number 3. Bills were on 3 points when it happened. Score was 7-3. But again, that was September 5th. The news broke of the jersey change. January 2nd, the injury exactly 17 weeks after the Week 17 game. Remember, Mason is 17, like modern Freemasonry was created in 1717. Freemasonry is 59, which is the 17th prime. Modern Freemasonry in 1717. Then 59 years later, this nation created in 1776. And the word masonry is also 33, like how only 33 didn't kneel. Secrecy is 33. Orders 33. The federal city is also known as the Masonic City, D.C., where the House of the Temple is at Washington, D.C., or is in the House of the Temple, the Masonic headquarters in Washington, D.C., is at the address 1733. Again, the outside of the temple has 33 columns that are each 33 feet tall. MNF is 33 forwards, 48 in reverse. The game ended at the 48-yard line, 48 days before Daytona 500 with the Denny Hamlin reference. And Denny Kensington saves Damar Hamlin. Troll wants you to know that he's just calling nonstop like a jackass. But hold on. Let's make sure we got all the other things that we need to get out here. Oh, yeah. Again, September 5th, the day leaving 117 days left in the year, only for the ritual to happen on the 117th day of the season, also fitting him with Buffalo Bills. Just always blown away how people will watch the videos I put out and be like, are you serious? Like, you don't think that's just all a coincidence? It's like, I'm always like, are you serious? Like, are you that dense to think all of this is just a coincidence? You know, I've been here for a decade proving my point, nailing futures, calling the future over and over again before it happens. I mean, are you serious? Do you know where you are? Anyway, look how perfect it all is, you guys. Denny saves Hamlin. I mean, really? Denny Kellington. Here, let's look at what that surname means. Kellington, name meaning. English. And this would fit in with the whole Battle of the Queen Cities, the ritual and tribute to King Charles, all stuff we talked about before this detail even came out. Yorkshire. Habitational name from Kellington. The place name derives from the Old English personal name Ceola. Connective. Farmstead estate with change from initial ch to k during the Scandinavian influence. Well, if somebody wants to think more about that, if there's something deeper there, it's escaping me. But again, the English reference makes sense. And just for the record, I put the letters backwards. My bad. It's still gonna be the same gematria values. CPR and Damar are both 37. Again, like how the score was also 3-7. 37's the 12th prime number. The date was 1-2. The football field is 120 yards long. Again, 100 yards in the playing field plus 10 yards in each end zone. 12, always a big celebrated number in the NFL. A lot of star quarterbacks with the number 12. Never forget when Sunday Night Football did the numerology lesson on the number 12 when it was Brady versus Rodgers, and Tom won that game. And again, where Tom equals 12, Aaron doesn't. So how fitting in the game where they gave a numerology lesson on 12, Tom won. And again, if you guys want to watch that, go to the YouTube channel. I'll just spell it out. Just type this in on YouTube, JHW3D. Look at his videos. That's the channel name, JHW3D. He's got the Sunday Night Football broadcast save where they gave the numerology lesson on 12 for the Rodgers versus Brady game. And again, don't forget SNF equals 12. And my favorite Sunday Night Football 12 ritual this year was, again, Heineke for the Washington Commanders became 12-12 as a starter, losing 12-24, a difference of 12 points. And at the end of the game, he seemingly did not want to score or get a first down. And the game ended on the most blatant missed pass interference call in the history of the NFL. It was even worse than the Rams-Saints playoff game the other year. And again, it's because they're paying tribute to the numbers. So, or you can just say it's all schizophrenia, which is seemingly what everyone locked in the Matrix likes to say. Isn't it weird how everyone's like they think they're like some professional doctor. Oh, you're questioning what's on TV? Sounds like you must be a schizophrenic. Okay. So, isn't it nice? The third degree, the kneeling Hiram Abiff ritual, 7-3 score. Denny Hamlin, who's won Daytona 500 3 times, just happened to do it. The game just happens to end at the 48-yard line, 48 days for the Daytona 500 on MNF. And Freemason's got the 48 connection as well as 42. Denny Hamlin's 42 right now. He's also from Tampa. Another thing to think about. Again, when I went to Buffalo, I documented how the only – you know what? Here, let me see if I can pull this up for you real quick. Give me a minute. I just want you – I documented this at the Buffalo Top so you can see it with your own eyes. I forget what channel it's on. I think it's on GematriaEffectNews 24, if I'm not mistaken. I always have to shift up my channels because of all the suspensions. But I did document how the only NFL team with representation at the Buffalo Top shooting was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And again, you guys, the Bills player collapsing in the first quarter, if it's a ritual and tribute to what's about to happen with currency, do we get some big news about the dollar bill in the first quarter, the first financial quarter, January, February, March? It's annoying having a bunch of channels because I can never find what I need to. Scrolling in the background here to see if I can find it. Oh, yeah, here it is. Here it is. I got it. There is sound to this. I am talking, but again, this is at the Buffalo Tops. This is my own recording. And again, the only NFL team, and you got 3 teams in New York, right? You're like, okay, the Jets, the Giants, the Bills. Only Tampa Bay's got representation. Tampa, Florida stands with Buffalo, New York. Don't forget, Brady is 33-3 versus the Bills. Number 3 was down. Number 33, Neal, was standing. So what's it all about? Okay, but yeah, that's the Denny Hamlin piece. And again, Tage Thompson with the hat trick on the third after wearing the Pray for Damar 3 t-shirt. Again, he scored his 30th career goal, scoring the hat trick, winning the game 5-4. Hamlin 30, like how they got the tribute at the 30-yard line. Thompson and Hamlin both 33. Tage Thompson 54 forwards and backwards with the Bills. Again, he wins at 5-4 with the hat trick on the third. He wears the number 72. Buffalo Bills in reverse is 72. Jesuits running the show. And again, Tage Thompson is from the Phoenix area where Super Bowl 57 is going to be at. Also born on the 30th of October. You had that ritual in tribute to Damar. And again, Damar Hamlin's eyes open was the story 3 days after number 3 goes down. I knew that the Jesuits are the Society of Jesus, the resurrection after 3 days. It was also a date with 49 date numerology that they did that. And Damar Hamlin's 49, like NFL. Chuck Hughes has the same March 24th birthday as Damar Hamlin. And again, this is from Football Reference. Football Reference doesn't change birthdays after people die and rituals happen, but Google does. So again, Chuck Hughes, born March 24th, the only player to die on the field. And he died in his 38th game. Again, we talk about death in 38 all the time. But Damar Hamlin, also born March 24th. And again, for all you guys who are out there that think all this stuff's a coincidence, ask yourself why Google, which is Jesuit ran, just like your NFL, is changing the birthday of Chuck Hughes after the death. Oh, Google now says his birthday is March 2nd. They just deleted the 4. You know? Just a little simple deletion of the 4. No problem. But again, we've seen this with so many people, including Chadwick Boseman, who died on Jackie Robinson Day, truly at age 42. Let me see. Where did I put all the information with Chuck Hughes? Let's get that post up too. Oh, by the way, Christian Eriksen, who collapsed in international football, he collapsed June 12th, 2021, 570 days from Hamlin. You know, all week on Fox, they talked about if it could have been the jab that caused the Hamlin collapse. You know, there's a reason they're doing this. And let's see. His uncle who came out and said he was resuscitated twice, his name Dorian Glenn equals 68, like Damar Hamlin. Damar Hamlin in reverse is 68. Like Donovan Mitchell, basketball, which on the same day. Here, I'll just show you this real quick. Dorian Glenn, 68. Damar Hamlin, 68. Dick Butkus is part of the ritual with Chuck Hughes. Dick Butkus, 68. And Donovan Mitchell, also 68. And so is basketball, since they worked basketball into it. But with regards to 68, notice how CIA is 68. And notice also how Central Intelligence Agency is 243 and 117. Again, the Donovan Mitchell ritual was 117 days after his birthday. It happened on the 117th day of the season. He changed his jersey number. Damar Mitchell changed his jersey number on the day, leaving 117 days left in the year. His birthday is 24/3. Remember, Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bomber, right before the Buffalo shooting, Buffalo started a play about Timothy McVeigh. And the Timothy McVeigh Oklahoma City bombing happened 117 weeks after Bill Clinton had become president and 243 days after Bill Clinton's birthday. And, of course, Bill Clinton and Hillary and the governor Keating of Oklahoma at the time, they're all Jesuit educated at Georgetown. And by the way, again, CIA is 68 and so is terror. The Oklahoma City bombing was 68 days after the nation's first counterterrorism legislation, which was passed by Joe Biden on Keating's birthday, who was the governor of Oklahoma. And you see how terror is also 41? That legislation was passed on the 41st day of the year. And then 68 days later, it happened. Kind of like how 9/11 happened on a 41 date numerology. And again, World Trade Center construction began in 68. 9/11 was made in code in 68. Terror's 94 forwards. World Trade Centers opened on the 94th day of 1973. Again, So you got to know the ciphers forwards and backwards. World Trade Center is also 94. It's also 185. They came down 185 days after bin Laden's birthday. It's also 77, like when you spell out September 11th, reminding of Flight 77 hitting the Pentagon on the 77th meridian, 77 minutes after taking off when the Pentagon's 77 feet tall. And the Pentagon opened in 41, right before Pearl Harbor, and they called 9/11 the new Pearl Harbor. And Pearl Harbor happened on December 7th, 127, and then 9/11 buildings 1, 2, and 7 fell in New York. But trying to find the Chuck Hughes post. Hold on. Where is the Chuck Hughes post? Or maybe this is it. January 5th can be written 5/1. The day is eyes open. Oh, here it is right here. This is the post I want. Okay, so from the Chuck Hughes death on the field to the Damar Hamlin collapse was 51 years, 2 months, and 9 days later. So 51 years, right? And again, in Gematria, Chuck Hughes is 51, who died on the field. This ritual happened in Cincinnati, 51. Conspiracies, 51. And then on the date, the 5th day of the first month, 5/1, that was the feel-good story about Damar Hamlin opening his eyes. So, and let's not forget that Lions-Bears game, Dick Butkus, who was part of the play, wore the number 51, but there were 51 points scored in the game, and the Lions only scored 23, and then this happens at the start of 2023 in the first Monday Night Football game of the year. So, forgot to put the screenshot up there for Dick Butkus. But also, oh yeah, that's the other part. It happened to Chuck Hughes on October 24th, the day leaving 68 days left in the year. They couldn't have scripted it. Happened in 71, right? Donovan Mitchell dropped 71 points that same night. Spiders 71. Spiders make webs. These are a web of rituals. Rambo's been talking about the Queen and Charlotte's web and the spider on her casket that made international headlines. Remember, the same day all this happened with Damar Hamlin and Donovan Mitchell, you also had the scaffolding fall at the construction site, Freemasons or Builders, in Charlotte on the same day Spider dropped 71. In North Carolina, named after King Charles. And those who fought for King Charles are Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell for the Cavs dropping 71 when, again, Royalist 71 like Spider, so is Catholic. And notice how Chuck Hughes' birth name, Charles Hughes, is 134 like King Charles III. Queen, King, rituals, sports, news, royal family. Been talking about it since the 111th World Series. Again, the Queen born on the 111th day of the year. The Royals won the 111th World Series over New York, the 111 state, where September 11th happened on the day leaving 111 days left in the year. All right, we still don't have anyone in the chat. I was hoping with all the filibustering, somebody would come on here and debate. But I'm sure we'll get the same old comments. Schizophrenia, oh my God, numerology. See, part of me thinks that all the people who leave those comments, that they feel like they're, and by the way, this guy's still calling here. Troll hasn't given up. But the people who leave those comments, the truth is they think that they're better than people who are awake. They think they're smarter by just going along with the narratives. They think somebody like me is mentally ill and all this is beneath them, so they don't even need to debate. It's out of their league. They're not gonna go down and debate numerology. Numerology, that's so stupid. Meanwhile, it's like paid tribute to on like the fanciest buildings in the nation's capital. All this number. Like these people are unreachable. They're just part of the matrix. They're immovable objects. They think they're right. They think they're holier than thou, and there's no shift in their course. And that's why, it's sad that so many people who've been riding with me for all these years, they've heard too many of my rants. They've gotten too soft. As right, the Matrix would say, they've been taken by all the liberal energy in the country, and now they're shifting side to the dark forces. But yeah, it is why I rant and say I don't think anything's going to change until there's a lot less of these Matrix people long gone. So, like this guy right here. Hopefully, this guy right here is getting all of his jabs. Hopefully, just like they reported at the beginning of the year, new phantom heart disease is going to take a lot of people. Would it be one bit of a loss if that guy fell off? The guy just keeps calling over and over on no caller ID on silent. Yeah, and by the way, hey, look who got on here. She's not coming on to debate, but what's up, Daria? Thanks for coming on, Daria. If you guys don't know Daria, she is a world-class decoder, and she comes out in Pounds Payment, Oklahoma City, New York, and beyond. What's up, Daria?
Hi, Zach. Hi, everybody.
Thanks for coming on.
I was going to say, I was thinking about, the whole thing with Buffalo, and I was going to say, I think you should go back and review all the big stories connecting to Buffalo, because they already gave us the clue as to who they're going to face in the Super Bowl. And since there's all this big focus on Buffalo, there has to be something that connects Buffalo to one of the teams that's going to be, in the Super Bowl. Because more than likely, Buffalo's going to be in the Super Bowl. And there's been like all these stories, I think one of the callers from the other day, I think his name was Niles, I don't know.
Yeah.
He was talking about Philadelphia, since we're in 2023 and 223 Philadelphia, the synagogue of Satan, that theme. We should go back and look at all the stories connecting to like Buffalo, like the Buffalo Bill, Cody, Wyoming, all the Q Lazarus singer, because more than likely they already gave us the clue. We just and then don't forget the Phillies, they lost the World Series. They were in the World Series, but they lost. But yeah, I think they already gave us the clue. We just have to go back and look at all the stories, the top stories from last year.
Just to revisit the point Niles made the other night when we did the stream on January 2nd, he was pointing out that it was 103 days before the anniversary of the death of Lincoln, while we're in the 103rd NFL season. And again, the Eagles have 103 connection through their field. Lincoln Financial Field, where they play, is 103. Mm-hmm. And again, King Charles, the last King Charles was the king in the time of the English Civil War. Lincoln was the Civil War president. So is that what they're pointing to?
You remember the when the prime minister from Japan was assassinated?
Right.
Remember how he died on what? They were comparing that to Lincoln.
Yeah.
And the other day they were showing the movie Philadelphia with Tom Hanks
and Denzel.
And remember the Silence of the Lambs? He also directed that film, Philadelphia.
Who directed Philadelphia?
The guy that directed the Silence of the Lambs.
Huh. Okay. Interesting. Because, Q Lazarus, her song got big in the Silence of the Lambs film because the killer Buffalo Bill is dancing to it. And by the way, the real Buffalo Bill is born on the 57th day of the year. Mm-hmm. So.
But, yeah, it's just something to take a look at, because there's been, they already gave us the clue. I think we just have to go back and look at, mostly, some of the top stories, especially with Buffalo, because there's something there.
Sure. And again, the team that seems like a real long shot in the NFC, but did make the playoffs, is Brady, who's trying to get to 8-3, born on 8-3. And again, Damar Hamlin, born on the 83rd day of the year. And the thing to watch today is, do the Falcons beat the Bucks today? I'll just put this out there for people who don't know. Look at Tom Brady's career road losses as a starter. He's on 57 career road losses right now. So if the Falcons do not win today, he'll stay on those 57 road losses. His road to the Super Bowl will be through road games. And he did just win on Christmas Day in Arizona with his 57th career comeback. So that is one more thing to keep in mind with Brady. And again, the Bucs did have the only representation at that Buffalo Tops. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you're right. I'm sure the clues are out there. We just have to make the right connection and figure out which one's the mirage. So
okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all I have to say. Thank you for having me on, Zach.
Of course, Daria. Thank you for all your good work. Have a great day.
You too.
All right. Bye. Yeah, if you guys don't know Daria, she's often in the chat, and she always makes really great observations. So I'm sure she'll take her own advice and go back through all those clues and come to her own conclusion. So we'll see what Daria comes up with. Yeah, no caller ID, still spamming the phone line. Anyway, that was most of the Damar Hamlin review I wanted to get to, and we will leave it there for now. Again, thank you to the super chatters. I appreciate the generosity. Let me make sure I saw all the super chats. I think I thanked everyone in the chat, but I will do that real quick. And as for going to LA, I still have not decided. I still got time to decide. But yeah. Oh, hey, somebody called besides no caller ID. Let's take one more call. What's up, 954?
Hey Zach, it's Slick Nick. I just want to say to the caller for the connection. I think we already know the connection with Big Tom and Josh Allen. I've been saying on the very first week when I called in, I was like, all with this Josh's Jack cereal and how he has 3 variations of the cereal now. He just had the price at $4.17. And I said in the second cereal box, it has a word puzzle on the back. It has 14 lines on that word puzzle. And on the 12th line, it has Tom's name on it next to the letters IU, which is also 12. So I just think it's so perfect. And on the weight of the box is 12.2 ounces. The grams is 346 grams per serving, which is when Tom Brady played Josh Allen last year during the playoffs for December 21st. It's just so sick how they rig up everything. And Josh Allen, and his grandma died. Patricia Allen, her name equals 212. Just like it's reminding me of Russell Wilson with his grandpa. And now we got Josh Allen and his grandma. So, I think it's all very interesting.
Indeed it is. Yeah, I appreciate that reminder. Thanks, Slick Nick.
Yeah, thank you. Take it easy. Have a good night.
All right, yeah, have a good one. Okay, so shout out to Eric Meller. He chipped in 5. He said, the highest level of humanity. Slave job for 40 years, and on the weekend, you get to watch pre-planned, scripted sports. Sick, sad world. And again, I mean, it is just that right there that is so many people's reality, which is why they can't admit that they've been duped, because to admit that they've been duped, it's that Mark Twain quote. It's easier to fool someone than convince them they've been fooled. But for people to look back at their life and say like, oh my God, the thing that I've been putting all my free time into has been this rigged mockery all these years. I mean, that's a major hit on the ego, and a lot of people would rather not have that. Arbin Isini, if I said your name right, sorry if I didn't. He said, hey, Zach, I did some decoding and I saw Denny Hamlin and Pope both had the number 52 and 56. Okay, they do script a lot around the Pope. 3 has the strong relationship with 56. He's already won 3, so think more about that. Nathan chipped in a big fat 20. You didn't have to do that, Nathan, but thank you very much. And Matthew Kahn chipped in $2 and said, Tage and Tristan Thompson, Donovan and Lola Mitchell. Tage Thompson had the ritual, and then Tristan Thompson's mom died. I'm guessing something happened to Donovan Mitchell's mother. I wasn't aware of that. Is that a newer news story? Again, not sure who Lola Mitchell is. So. Oh, Gangsta Boo. Okay, yeah. Gangsta Boo died on New Year's by the numbers. Again, New Year's equals 38 and 43. She died at 43. Gangsta Boo equals 38, like rapper, like death, like murder, like killing, like RIP, like Chuck Hughes dead in the 38th game. I see. Lola Mitchell dies, and then Donovan Mitchell has the big game the next day. I see. And again, if you guys aren't on my website, GematriaEffectNews, you can come here. You can search things like Gangsta Boo. Jonathan and I just did a live stream. Jonathan's finishing up his book, 38 Special. But yeah, a lot of 38, 43 deaths on New Year's, year after year. 2 drummers dead on New Year's. Drummer equals 38 and 43, like killing in New Year's. She's out of Memphis, 3-6 Mafia. But yeah, 38, number of death. And again, Chuck Hughes in his 38th game dies. So I don't know. That's why I wish even like a big platform would have us on for a debate. I've never had anybody that has like a big platform that ever wanted to bring me on to debate the work. Like bigger platforms have taken shots at the work and made fun of it, but yeah, it's just like I wish that would happen on a big platform. Debate the information. Let's see who can make a more convincing argument. Let's see who can be more persuasive. And the thing is, I mean, automatically the person going against me already has the hive mind on their side. And it's hard to break the hive mind, but for people who aren't totally locked in, I'm pretty sure all of them would be persuaded by my side of the argument. And thanks, Charmed One. Yeah, make sure you guys support people like Rambo, the Truth Codes, all the people in the community doing the good work. And we will leave it there for now. All right, Truth Seeker. Have a great rest of your day. And until next time.